Hello friends, I'm Dr. Gaurav. In this video, I will discuss about Clausius inequality. Contents are Clausius inequality, proof of Clausius inequality, Clausius theorem. Clausius inequality. The second law of thermodynamics often leads to expressions that involve inequalities. An irreversible, that is actual heat engine, for example, is less efficient than a reversible one operating between the same two thermal energy reservoirs. The important inequality that has major consequences in thermodynamics is the Clausius inequality. It was first stated by the German physicist R. J. E. Clausius, one of the founders of thermodynamics, and is expressed as cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature less than equal to 0. That is, when a system undergoes a complete cyclic process, the integral of differential of heat divided by temperature around the cycle is less than 0 for reversible, for irreversible, or equal to 0 for reversible. Clausius inequality is valid for all cycles, reversible or irreversible. Any heat transfer to or from a system can be considered to consist of differential amounts of heat transfer. Then the cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature can be viewed as the sum of all these differential amounts of heat transfer divided by the temperature at the boundary. Next is proof of Clausius inequality. Consider a reversible heat engine and irreversible heat engine working between two thermal reservoirs at temperature Th and Tl and taking the same heat input QH as shown in figure. We know that from Carnot theorem that efficiency of irreversible heat engine is less than efficiency of reversible heat engine. So we can see in the figure we are having two heat engine. First is reversible heat engine and the second is irreversible heat engine. Both of these heat engines are supplied with same heat input QH from same high temperature reservoir at TH. Reversible heat engine is producing the work W reversible and irreversible heat engine is producing the work W irreversible, and reversible heat engine is rejecting QL reversible amount of heat to the low temperature reservoir at TL, and irreversible heat engine is rejecting QL irreversible amount of heat to the low temperature reservoir at TL. Now we can replace this efficiency of irreversible heat engine with the formula 1 minus QL irreversible divided by QH, that is 1 minus heat rejected divided by heat supplied, less than 1 minus QL reversible divided by QH. So we can write down this expression in this way also: 1 minus QL irreversible divided by QH less than 1 minus TL divided by TH. As for reversible heat engine, we know that QL reversible divided by QH is equal to TL divided by TH. Rearranging the above expression, we can write down QL irreversible divided by QH will be greater than TL divided by TH. QL irreversible divided by TL greater than QH divided by TH. Rearranging the above expression, we can write down QH divided by TH minus QL irreversible divided by TL less than 0. We know that heat added should be positive and heat rejected should be negative. So we can write down QH divided by TH minus QL irreversible divided by TL less than 0. We have put minus sign here because QL irreversible is the heat rejected and we are saying that heat rejected should be negative. Rearranging this term, we can write down QH divided by TH plus QL irreversible divided by TL less than 0. Considering the complete original irreversible cycle, we can write down QH1 divided by TH1 plus QL1 irreversible divided by TL1 plus QH2 divided by TH2 plus QL2 irreversible divided by TL2 and so on less than 0. So we can say that cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature for irreversible process is less than 0. According to Clausius theorem, we know that cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature for reversible cycle is equal to 0. Combining result for reversible and irreversible cycle yields cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature less than equal to 0, which is known as Clausius inequality. Thus, we can say that cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature for reversible cycle is equal to 0 and cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature for irreversible cycle is less than 0, and if we are having an expression such that cyclic integral of heat divided by temperature greater than 0, then such type of cycle is not possible. Next is Clausius theorem. Let us consider a smooth closed curve representing a reversible cycle as shown in figure. So this is the smooth closed curve and this represents a reversible cycle. Let the closed cycle be divided into large number of steps by means of reversible adiabatics. So these are reversible adiabatics. These. Each strip may be closed at the top and bottom with reversible isotherms. Thus, the original cycle is replaced by a large number of Carnot cycles. We know that Carnot cycles consist of two adiabatic process reversibly and two reversibly isothermal process. So we can see here AB represent isothermal process, reversible isothermal process, BC represent reversible adiabatic process, CD represent reversible isothermal process, and DA represent reversible adiabatic process. So two process BC and DA represent reversible adiabatic, AB and CD represent reversible isothermal. So this will form the Carnot cycle. If we made such cycle for all the reversible adiabatics, then we will get large number of Carnot cycles. If the adiabatics are close to one another, means if these reversible adiabatic lines are very close to each other, then number of Carnot cycles are large. This sawtooth zigzag line will coincide with the original cycle. Then it will form the original cycle, that is smooth closed curve. For the elemental cycle ABCD, differential of heat Q1 is absorbed reversibly at temperature T1 and differential of heat Q2 is rejected reversibly at temperature T2. So here ABCD is the elemental cycle and we are supplying differential amount of heat Q1 at temperature T1 into this Carnot cycle and it is rejecting differential amount of Q2 at temperature T2. So we can write down differential amount of Q1 divided by T1 is equal to differential amount of Q2 divided by T2, as this is a reversible heat engine or according to Kelvin temperature scale. Rearranging the above term, we can write down differential of Q1 divided by T1 minus differential of Q2 divided by T2 is equal to 0. We know that heat added should be positive and heat rejected should be negative. So we can write down above expression as differential of Q1 divided by T1 minus differential of Q2 divided by T2 equal to 0. Here we have put additional minus symbol because differential of Q2 is the amount of heat rejected and rejected should be negative. So we can write down differential of Q1 divided by T1 plus differential of Q2 divided by T2 equal to 0. Similarly for the elemental cycle EFGH. We can write down differential of Q3 divided by T3 plus differential of Q4 divided by T4 equal to 0. If similar equations are written for all the elemental Carnot cycles, then for the whole original cycle we can write down differential of Q1 divided by T1 plus differential of Q2 divided by T2 plus differential of Q3 divided by T3 plus differential of Q4 divided by T4 plus so on equal to 0. So we can write down cyclic integral of differential of Q divided by T is equal to 0 for reversible cycle. Thus we can say the cyclic integral of differential of heat divided by temperature for a reversible cycle is 0. This is known as Clausius theorem. These are the references used in this video. Thanks. Any questions? You can write to me gaurav.citm@gmail.com.